Hello and welcome to Week 6 of the Ramily Insider. I'm your host, Jeremy Pearl, alongside me, the Insider, Mr. Ryan McKenna. How are you doing today, Limey?
Limey. Yikes, what a nickname. I'm doing great. It's really warm outside in Toronto today, so took my pants off, traded them in for some shorts, and we're good to go for Week 6.
Lime green shorts, though.
Yeah, man.
Okay, well, enough about you and your shorts. Let's talk men's soccer. One of the most fantastic and unbelievable victories I've seen. I've watched this one of the most dramatic games. Ryerson defeating U of T 3-2 in an overtime thriller in the OUA East quarterfinals. Wow.
Jeremy, you and I were freaking out here at the right behind us. Actually, there was volleyball action going on, and we were both sort of trying to keep up to date with all the action, watching it on the Rams network, and it was just insane. We couldn't hear it because the music was going, but we knew that it must be getting fairly close to the game. They scored, sent it into extra time, and then whenever you thought the clock was going to run out in extra time, they score another one. Just feel the thrill. You know, just like a thrill for the dramatics, it seems.
Alex Berletic tying it in the 90th minute to send it to overtime before Nick Lambus, his first of the season, won it for the Rams, sending them off to the OUA Final Four, which they will host this weekend.
Pretty good time to score your first goal of the season, isn't it? But no, the team will host the OUA Final Four, and it's going to be great. We're sending out a fan bus and hoping to see a lot of people out there for some great soccer and the best soccer you're going to find around here.
Now, not only did they win a dramatic game, they also raked in some awards. Hold on, I'm going to read this because there's so many. Alex Berletic, OUA East MVP, who scored 13 goals this season after a career high of 3 before that. Excuse me?
Not bad.
First Ryerson athlete to win 2 MVPs. Crazy. Unbelievable. Cameron Galea Andrews, OUA East Rookie of the Year. Dr. J, or Dr. Ivan Joseph, Phil the Thrill, Phil Prostran, Coach of the Year. Unbelievable. The list goes on. Victor Anastasiov, Michael Yan, Christian Maraldo, Alex Berletic, OUA East First Team All-Stars. Again, now, Josh Kahn and Armin Tankovic, Second Team OUA East All-Stars. 6 All-Stars on this squad.
Wow. That's all I got to say. We haven't seen this kind of awards being distributed to any of our teams since I started and in the last number of years as well. Just congratulations to them. They really deserve it. And
I guess that's what comes with a 12-0-2 record and the number 2 ranking in the country.
Exactly. But they definitely deserve it. Very worthy of all the awards. But with that said,
not finished yet.
They are not finished yet. Awards are great, but until you get a banner, you're just another team.
Now, this weekend they will carry on. They will play Windsor first off. But let's move on from soccer and talk a little bit about hockey. Men's hockey, 2 wins over Guelph in a tremendous fan appreciation night.
2,100 fans in attendance.
And then, wow, that's incredible. Way to go, fans. And then later on, Brock. Big weekend for them.
Great weekend for them.
Offense is clicking.
Offense is clicking. Goaltending is there, and it's solid, and it's consistent. Adam Courchain making his first starts of the season for the Rams now actually holds the best save percentage in all of the CIS at .962 through 2 games. So he's really come in. He's actually let in the first goal of each game that he's played in. But nonetheless, he's been solid. Just really poised, square to the puck, and it's nice welcome to see. And also getting a ton of offense in there as well. 11 goals through 2 games.
They're averaging almost between 5 and 6 goals a game. That's absurd for an offense that kind of struggled last year.
Well, they didn't have any pure goal scorers since you and I have started here. And now this season they have on the point Peter Hermangildo, just been dynamite. He's the best scoring rookie defenseman since Brian Burkhoff.
Was a rookie.
It was a rookie 2 years ago. They have Dominic Alberga, Jamie Wise. Both those guys are at the top of the CIS scoring and OUA scoring. They've just got guys who are goal scorers and are putting the puck in the back of the net. It's great to see.
Now we go from men's hockey to women's hockey, who had an interesting weekend, a split.
Yep. They lost against Nipissing on Saturday. They played a couple of newcomers into the league. Spoke with Melissa Ronsberg post-game. She felt as though the team had a lot of chances against Nipissing and that they really should have won that game. Didn't happen. Came up against Laurentian the next day, scored 5 goals. A nice way to take a trip back from Sudbury.
Now, Emma Crawley this year in net has been a pleasant surprise.
Last 4 games, she's been really surprising a lot of people, among the league leaders in the entire CIS. And you need that kind of goaltending and the consistency. Hopefully, she's able to keep it up. She now has a career high for wins in a single season. And hopefully that team, they play Nipissing and the Laurentians again. They play Brock. They play a ton of teams that they can actually beat. They need to start putting themselves to the test and actually winning those games.
Now, men's and women's volleyball both splitting the weekend, both losing to York and then beating Nipissing.
Tough losses against York. Starting off with the women's, I don't know, it just didn't get the vibe that they were actually in the game. I think talent-wise, they can match up with York, but they just didn't really show it in that game. And
York is one of the best teams in the country.
They are one of the best teams, but Ryerson has that talent now. They should be able to at least compete with a team like York. I mean, the sets were close. They didn't get blown out. But at the same time, you lost in straight sets. I think they would have been able to at least win one of those sets. In the men's game against York, that was a heartbreaker. You're up 2-0, and then you lose 3 straight and get called for an out of rotation in the 5th set. That hurts. Next night, Nipissing's one of those teams that you have to beat, and the teams beat them.
Now, coming up on the show, as we mentioned, all-star goalkeeper Christian Maraldo. So we will hear from him on what a dramatic weekend it was. All right, we are here with OUA East first-team all-star goaltender Christian Maraldo. How you doing today?
Not bad, yourself?
Good. Now, this weekend, it was a
Yeah,
thriller. It was a
quite
thriller.
emotional.
Take us through the emotions of that game. First tying it in the 90th minute and then winning it in the last second of injury time. Unbelievable in overtime.
We experienced a little bit of everything. Going up in the first half, getting tied by halftime, and then moving on to losing, and then in the last couple of minutes tying it up was quite the thriller. So I feel like when we scored that goal in the 90th minute, everyone was jumping up and down as if we won. But then we quickly realized this game isn't over yet, and we had a whole overtime to play. But once Nick Lambis scored again in the last minute of extra time, I think that counting down the seconds, and when the fans rushed the field, it was we were quite overwhelmed with the joy of winning.
Was there any one player that actually kept your spirits up as you were down in the dying minutes of the game?
Well, of course, Alex Berletic he's always been that rah-rah guy who's keeping our emotions in check and keeping us calm. And even if we're losing, we knew that he was going to come back and get one for us. So I was never really nervous in terms of that. But all the guys were just keeping positive, and no matter what, we knew that we were going to pull it out.
Now, you mentioned Nick Lambis. His first goal of the season is what sends you to the OUA Final Four. You have 6 All-Stars on your team. You have the Coach of the Year, MVP. What is the mood in the dressing room going into such a huge weekend?
Well, I don't think anything's really changed. Sure, the awards are nice, and it's always nice to recognize certain guys for their achievements. But in terms of practice in the change room, we nothing's really changed. Final Four for us is just another step on the way to nationals.
Now, with Final Four coming up as well, a lot of hype, a lot of decision-making and whatnot. What will you guys need to do to prepare against a team like Windsor?
I don't think anything needs to really change. The guys' focus is exactly where they need to be. And, having Final Four on a home field, it doesn't really, besides the not traveling, it doesn't really make a difference to us because, Monarch's been our home the entire year. So I think that, honestly, as long as we keep doing what we've been doing and practicing what we've been practicing, nothing really needs to change.
So you don't feel as though there's going to be any sort of home field advantage, even if it is in Toronto this weekend?
Like I said, besides not driving 6 hours to go play at Carleton or such, I think that's basically the only advantage. We're not on campus, so it's going to be tough to get the Ryerson students and the fans to come out, although I think there's a fan bus coming. But, besides our girls team, who have been our biggest supporters all year, I don't expect to see too many Ryerson faces out there, although it would be nice.
Well, we definitely are getting fan buses, and we will promote it as much as possible. But let's talk about your season a little bit. You've had 3 clean sheets. Again, first-team All-Star goaltender. What has the season been like for you? How have you felt with your play?
Honestly, I just feel like I've been doing what's expected of me. You know, being a fourth year now, little mistakes can't happen anymore. I knew that in my first couple of years there were those games where I'd make a couple of those game-changing mistakes that I needed to iron out. But at this point, it's nice to be recognized for things that I think that are expected of me. But besides that, it's just a consistent season all around. I think just my defense have been stellar this entire year, so they've really helped me out. And whenever I make a mistake, they back me up, and whenever they make a mistake, I'm there to back them up.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it.
First team OUA East All-Star goaltender Christian Maraldo. All right, well, thank you, Christian Maraldo, for that tremendous interview. Great insight on the weekend that is coming up.
He had some great insight, very well spoken. He also touched on the issue of attendance. Ryerson undefeated, almost better than TSC, at least record-wise.
Yeah, I mean, they've won probably about 10 more times than TFC. Yeah, arguably a different level of competition, but that being said,
it'd be still nice to get a lot of fans out there. And, Jeremy, you have some details for us regarding the fan bus.
Before we talk about the upcoming games this weekend, there is a fan bus going to Birchmount Stadium for the games this weekend. The Rams play at 2, so the fan bus will be leaving the Mattamy Athletic Center at 1. You can email rams.events@ryerson.ca to sign up for a spot on the fan bus. All fans in attendance will receive a Rams soccer rally towel. So that's awesome.
Woo!
Yeah. So everyone watching this, friends, family, students, please go out and support our men's soccer team. They are the number 2 team in the country. They are currently undefeated. And you know what? They're just a great group of guys playing a great brand of soccer right now.
There you go.
So with that being said, let's talk about this weekend. Now, we are hosting the Final Four, so a little bit on the first matchup. Carleton, the number 9 team in the country, facing York, the number 3 team in the country. That game's at 11 if you want to go out early. Anything on that?
More so on the Ryerson matchup. We talked with Maraldo actually off air, and he mentioned how they're surprised to be facing a Windsor squad. Obviously Windsor ranked number 9, but
10, actually.
10, my apologies. But they didn't expect to be playing the Lancers.
They had a few upsets on the way here.
Exactly. They expected to be playing the McMaster Marauders, who won the titles the last 2 seasons. So, bit of a surprise there. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think you're going to see a lot of Windsor fans there, and we just need to be louder.
So, if they win 2 o'clock on Saturday, they will be playing again 2 o'clock on Sunday. So, if you come out Saturday, make sure you come out Sunday for both. It's going to be a tremendous weekend for the men's soccer team. And the coolest thing is, it could be Ryerson's first potential championship. And you have to be there for history.
There you go.
Now, also coming up this weekend, big weekend for our basketball squads. They are opening up their season of play at Brock and then McMaster. Now our men's team opening up at number 4 in the country behind Carleton, of course, Alberta, as well as Ottawa GGs. Opening up number 4, big weekend against Brock and Mac to start the season off right.
Big expectations to start off the season. Now, McMaster's always one of those teams that you got to be careful of. They're always near the top. They're always, just 2 years ago, we saw them at the OUA Final Four in Waterloo. So they're going to be a tough test. And then Brock is as well. You got to expect some new guys like Kadeem Green to step up. Ran into him at the gym here at the MAC, and I think he's a big guy, and he's going to be
6'9", 7-foot wingspan.
Yep, it's a lot bigger than
Clogs
me.
the lane.
That's a lot bigger than me. So he's going to be one of those guys that's got to come up huge. Aaron Breska has just got to keep on playing his game. So I'm really excited to see how the guys turn out this weekend.
Absolutely. Now, how about the women? Brock, McMaster. McMaster's a pretty good women's squad.
The McMaster is a very good women's squad, as we saw in the Darcel Wright Memorial Classic. They beat Ryerson fairly handily. So it's going to be a tough matchup against them. If they can at least keep them close. And they have a lot of stuff that they still need to work on. But I have zero doubt in Carly Clark, the head coach of the team, that she's going to be able to keep this team, make them into an actual team, and help them score some buckets.
Now, on Tuesday, November 5th, our men's basketball team is traveling to play the Syracuse Orange of the NCAA, one of the finest programs in the NCAA. Well, first, let's touch on the matchup before the little secret surprise.
big Canadian on the team, Tyler Ennis,
Yep.
is on the squad, and he is dynamite. One of those guys, not quite Andrew Wiggins' talent, but one of the biggest recruits this year, at least in the NCAA, coming from Canada. So I'd love to see him. Wish I'd be able to go on the fan bus. Got class, but it's going to be a good matchup. Ryerson, can't see them. I hope they're able to keep it
Carleton
close.
played Syracuse close earlier in the year, so it'll be a tough matchup. We'll see. Depends on who's healthy and who's playing.
Exactly, and of course, as you mentioned, a fan bus coming to the game too.
Yeah, so we will be sending a fan bus to Syracuse for all of our Ryerson Rams fans to cheer on our men's basketball team as they take on the Syracuse Orange. Again, rams.events@ryerson.ca. You can email them, get on the fan bus, and like you said, that'd be a tremendous trip, a tremendous opportunity to see one of the best programs in the NCAA.
Pretty cool venue too.
Yeah, the Carrier Dome, a little bit of history there and whatnot. So big weekend for men's basketball, bigger weekend for men's soccer, and you know what? Just Ryerson Athletics. It's going well right now for a few of our teams.
Earned, never given. That's all I gotta say. If we keep the Ramily together, become a team, support each other, it's earned, baby. Never given.
Check out all of our schedules and our teams at ryersonrams.ca anytime you like. Recaps, post games, previews. We've got it all for you there. Now, that's all for this week. Week 6 of the Ramily Insider. Ryan McKenna, Jeremy Pearl. Have a good one, everyone.